How to save money living in Northern Virginia. Now, I know this is something that's really hard to do, obviously, because Northern Virginia is right by DC. You know, everything here is expensive. The cost of living is expensive. Everything here is just, it seems like it's so impossible just to live a decent life in Northern Virginia because of the way everything is set up. But I'm going to teach you guys how you can save money, live below your means, and, you know, create a path to financial freedom, even living in one of the most wealthy places in the United States. So first thing I would recommend is, if you can, I would recommend living with your parents until you save enough money to obviously afford your own house or get your own apartment comfortably. And live with your parents, stack bread, save up your money and invest as much as you can so that you can, you know, build up that nest egg for your future, get that compound interest. That's the first thing I would recommend. And the second thing I would recommend is to buy a beater car. Live below your means, get a car that's maybe $5,000, $6,000 cash. I know it can be hard to find, but you can easily go on Facebook Marketplace, or if you have some family, friends, connections, look for old people who are selling their cars. Look for grandpa-driven, grandma-driven cars, stuff like that. That's how you get a good deal, and that's how you make sure that car is reliable too. You could also take your car when you're test driving someone else's car to a mechanic just to double check that everything is okay. And if he gives you the go ahead, you can go ahead and buy that. A lot of people you can also negotiate with and get that price down too. That's the next thing. Definitely get a cheap car. And something else I would recommend is definitely cook your own food, cook at home. What I like to do is I like to limit eating out to maybe once a week. And when I do eat out, it's not a cheap meal. It's not an expensive meal, sorry. It's like $20 max for one person. So that's a good way to save money. I know in Northern Virginia, we have a lot of cheaper grocery stores that are still good quality, like Aldi, which is where I like to shop at. You can get pretty high quality stuff for super cheap and save a lot of money that way. I only go to the grocery store about once a week and spend like $30 to $50 at Aldi, which is really, really good. So definitely save money by shopping at those discount stores and cooking from home. Another thing I would recommend is, you know, in Northern Virginia, the driving and the drivers on the road and the traffic is pretty bad. So I would recommend, if it's possible, if you're past that stage of living with your parents and you're looking to get your own place, do not undervalue the importance of living close to your job. I know it may seem like a 30-minute drive to work is not that bad, but in Northern Virginia, that driving, it like mentally deteriorates you. Like the people who drive to DC every single day, there and back for work, their mind and just like their brain is deteriorating just by sitting in traffic. You know, sitting in traffic every single day does something to your mind. It dulls it. It makes you feel so numb, and it just like mentally degrades your brain. So I would definitely recommend, if you are living on your own or if you're planning to move out, it's really important that you live close to your work. Live as close to your job as possible. You know, I saw some statistic not too long ago that despite being able to live further away for a cheaper cost and just commuting to work, people are significantly more happier when they live closer to their job. And I've experienced that firsthand. At my old job, I was driving all over the place. Just driving in general, doing that action too much just makes you feel so numb and dull, and it makes you just feel so zoned out all the time, which is not a good thing to do that repeatedly to your brain, especially if you're young. So that's another good way to, you know, it might be a little bit more expensive to live closer to your job, but it's better for you psychologically and mentally, which can put you in a better mindset to save money when it comes to other areas of your life, which in the grand scheme of things will probably actually end up saving you money. It'll obviously save you gas as well too. So those are just a few of the things I can think of off the top of my head to save money living in Northern Virginia. I know it's tough, but there's lots of opportunities here, and it's there's a super high quality of life. So if you can just navigate it properly, live below your means, don't buy materialistic things to show off to people. I know people in Northern Virginia have nice things, and sometimes, you know, you obviously have the desire to want nice things as well because you're surrounded by it. You're surrounded by people with money, but don't fall into that trap of buying things you can't afford. Live below your means, save up that money, save and invest, and you will get ahead of 90% of these people who have nice cars and nice houses.